Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Natalia, and today I'm going to be going over some wands that I purchased on eBay with you guys. Most of these are replicas they're resin replicas, and I'm just going to be comparing and contrasting them with some of the ones that I picked up at the Wizarding World, and even comparing and contrasting them with one of the wands that I picked up in the wand mystery boxes that you can pick up at like Target and Walmart that they have. So let's get started. I'll start by showing you the first wand that I actually purchased. This was the first purchase that I made, and this is actually an interactive wand from Universal Studios Orlando from the Wizarding World. You can see that it has the interactive tip. And I mean, I guess this is like the standard to which I'm going to be holding the other wands in comparison. This is the wand that was assigned to me at the Wizarding World. And, you know, it feels like real wood. If you tap on it, I guess it sounds like it's real wood. It feels carved. There's nice detail, nice texture on it. And it feels substantial enough that it doesn't feel like a toy, you know, it feels like a real wand. And it is. It should feel like a real wand if it's interactive, right? This is the one that you point at the different sensors around the park to cast spells. My husband's wand is actually this one from the Wizarding World. It's a little bit longer than mine. Also interactive wand, interactive tip. Once again, it feels like it's actually carved wood. It could quite possibly be made of resin, but I think that it's actual wood. These other two wands I also picked up at Wizarding World, and these are non-interactive wands. The first one I'm going to show you is the other wand that I picked up. This is Professor Flitwick's wand. Now this one's not interactive. I feel like this one might be made of resin. But it almost sounds the same as the other ones when I tap on it. These could all be resin, who knows? I'm not exactly sure of what the Universal Studios Wizarding World wands are what material they're constructed from. But they pass off as wooden wands. Could be resin. Here's another one. This is one of the ones that my husband insisted we purchase when we went to the Wizarding World. This is Professor Slughorn's wand. Once again, really beautiful detail. You can see all of the silver over the black. You can see the texture is really clear and concise. You can tell they used a good mold to make this, if it is resin. And if not, you can tell that it was carved delicately with care. So those are all from the Wizarding World. Now, if you compare those wands to like the mystery box wands that you can find at Walmart or Target, there's a noticeable difference. This is Arthur Weasley's wand, and this is from one of the mystery boxes. First of all, I noticed right away that the wand, it feels a little bit lighter. This is definitely made of plastic, and it's not carved, and you can tell that it's plastic. And it has like a much more, I guess because these are designed for kids, it has a much more blunt tip on it so that nobody gets injured while playing. If you compare this to even just say this, you can see a huge quality difference, right? This looks like a toy, this does not. This was from the Wizarding World, this is from the mystery box. So what I'm going to show you next are actually wands that I picked up on eBay. And they are not from the Wizarding World. They're not Noble Collection wands. They're just replicas. And some of them, actually most of them are resin wands. But I think that they're really convincing. So let's start with one of the more detailed ones. This is Narcissa's wand. Now, if anything is going to scream cheap if it's not done well, it would be Narcissa's wand, right? Because hers is so very detailed. You can see all the little studs, and you can see all of the ridges. the detailing around the top of the handle of the wand, right? And I have to say, for this being a replica, this cost less than, I want to say this cost less than $8, or it might not have been in dollars, I'm sorry, it might have been in British pounds. Less than 8 British pounds. And I'm really happy with the quality of this wand. It feels substantial enough. It almost has the same weight. It's actually a little bit lighter in weight than the ones that I picked up at the Wizarding World. But I don't mind it being lighter in weight because, I mean, I'm a music educator. I conduct ensembles all the time. And back when I was in my master's program taking conducting, my conducting teacher told me that my baton that I use should not be too heavy, or else my arm would become tired when conducting an orchestra, band, choir, whatever type of ensemble. So I would imagine if you're casting spells, you want to go for a lightweight, balanced wand that does not make you tired, because no one needs to get tired during wand battles. What's funny, actually, I might as well bring it up since we're talking about my my career as a music educator. When you're learning conducting patterns, and for those of you who don't know anything about music, you're probably like, what are you even talking about right now? Conducting patterns are different patterns that the person who stands up and directs an ensemble follows to show the musicians what beats you're on. And they actually draw little pictures of them when you're learning to show people 2 beats versus 3 beats versus 4 beats. The little pictures that represent the conducting patterns look a lot like the charms and spells that we see in the Wizarding World. So I've always thought that was funny, and I've always found a connection there. I did. Just me being a nerd, being a music nerd, and being a Harry Potter nerd. So anyway, back to wands. As I was saying, I would assume you would want to opt for a lighter wand so that you don't get tired. So I don't mind that these are a little lighter in weight, but they still feel really solid. They don't feel like they're going to break. These are resin wands, definitely. Narcissus wand, I think it's a beautiful replica. And you can't beat that for less than 8 British pounds. I don't care what anybody says. You cannot beat that. The next one I'll show you is actually going to be Professor McGonagall's wand. And this one I was also very impressed by, because even though it's a resin wand, the top part, the handle of the wand, it has a beautiful glaze, like a gloss, and they did a great job making this look like a wooden handle. No one would know that wasn't a wooden handle unless they were told. So that's Professor McGonagall's. The bottom part of the wand is actually all black, but this part, definitely resin, but it looks like cherry wood or something. Beautiful job. Less than 8 British pounds. No lie. Now we'll look at this one. This is actually Ginny's wand. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not Ginny's wand. Correction. This is Luna's wand, part 1. Because remember, Luna's wand was broken, and Ollivander had to make her another wand at the Shell Cottage shortly after Dobby's death. So this is Luna's original wand. And this one, I mean, in weight and size, it's a little heavier. I'm not overly impressed with this wand, but to be fair, I don't think Luna's original wand was that impressive to begin with. So you can see the texture on it pretty well. You can see the different designs in the handle, and then it tapers off to just a smooth resin wand. Nothing spectacular there. Now, Luna's wand part 2 is here. I think that they did a great job. I have no complaints. I think that this handle is nice and detailed. You can see the texture. You can see shadows. This wand you can definitely feel is resin. It looks more resin than wood in my opinion. But less than 8 British pounds. You really can't complain. The only thing I will say is I feel like when I'm watching Luna hold her wand, I feel like this part's not quite this big in the films. So, proportion-wise, this part might be the handle might be a little bigger than it should. But I'll have to double check and look through some of the photos, some still shots from the films. Overall, really can't complain. Now this is Hermione's wand. Also a replica, less than 8 British pounds, resin wand from eBay. And I'll try and link these guys if they still have them available. I'll try and put the links down in the description. Don't know how well you can see that, but lots of beautiful texture going on here. This one looks way better than Luna's first wand, in my opinion. Hermione has these vines wrapping around her wand, and they did a really good job with the color of this wand, making it look like wood, making it look like more of a natural material than resin. Same thing, weight is a little bit lighter than the wands that I picked up at Wizarding World, but overall, solid. Feels like you're holding something, which I like. I don't want things to be too light or else they feel like they're cheap. So that's Hermione's. Here is the Dark Lord's wand. Voldemort's wand. I was actually really impressed with his wand because even though it's resin, just like Hermione's, they did a really good job at making this look like a natural light color wood by the different variations in, I guess, paint that they use to stain it or paint it. And the texture just falls in all the right places. This definitely looks like it came from wood, or I can't tell actually if this is supposed to be a bone, like a piece of bone on the Dark Lord's wand. Or maybe it's both. I wouldn't be surprised if it were part bone. I'm going to have to look into that. Anyone know what Voldemort's wand is made of? I'm sure it's out there. Definitely a convincing replica. This, everybody knows that this is the Elder Wand. The Elder Wand, there were 2 versions of this. There was a lighter color one and a darker color one. I opted for the darker color one because I think it looks closer to what you see in the films. And texture-wise, design-wise, I'm really impressed by it. I think it's long enough, substantial enough that it could pass for the Elder Wand. Although I imagine the real Elder Wand is probably, really long. But for my purposes and having this on my shelf, I have a shelf dedicated to the Deathly Hallows. For my purposes, this fits beautifully on the wand stand that's on my shelf. Everybody knows right upon sight this is the Elder Wand. So I'm really happy with it. They did a good job with the texture and coloration as well, making it look like a natural material rather than resin, even though it is a resin wand. Now this one, I have to say I'm not as impressed with, but for less than 8 British pounds, you really can't complain once again. This is Harry's wand. It's a replica of his wand. And the texture is spot on. I will say that. Texture for Harry's wand is spot on. But what I don't like is there's not as much of a color difference between the handle and the rest of the wand. And I feel like there should have been slightly more of a difference in color. There were different versions of this floating around online. And if you get like the version of this that comes out of the mystery box, it all looks like one color. Or maybe it's more obvious of 2 different colors, but maybe it's like too much of a difference in color between the handle and the rest of the wand. This one looks like a reddish brown color all throughout, and it's pretty consistent. So, not too impressed with this one. Texture, yes. Color, no. Now, the next 2 I'm going to show you are the last 2, and I'm super impressed with these ones. First, I will show you Newt Scamander's wand. I think they did a great job with Newt's wand. He's got this little opening at the end of his wand that's a different color than the rest of it, as we see him in Fantastic Beasts show us. And he's got this darker brown or black bit of the wand right where the handle connects to the rest of the wand, and they did a great job. Nice clean lines, good texture, looks like a natural material. Definitely think this one was one of my favorites out of the bundle. And then this one is hands down my absolute favorite. This is Queenie's wand from Fantastic Beasts. Guys, look at the detail in that handle. That handle is so detailed. Okay, the texture is great, the color is great. Down where it gets to the gold bit is wonderful. And there's a nice contrast between how smooth the rest of the wand is and how ornate and textured this part where the shell is and the handle is. I can't say enough nice things about this replica. Less than 8 British pounds, guys. You're really not going to go wrong with this. So that concludes my full-size wand replicas collection. I have the little small die-cast metal ones as well. I own a bunch of those. But I have to say, for full-size replicas, less than 8 British pounds, I'm really impressed. There's not that big of a quality difference between what you actually purchase in the Wizarding World and what you purchased on eBay for less than 8 British pounds. So I would highly recommend going and getting you a nice set of resin wands on eBay. And once again, I'll try and link these in the description so that you guys can check them out. You know, some of them might be hit or miss. Like I told you, some of them look a little more resin than natural material, but less than 8 British pounds, you really can't complain. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, please comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know if there's anything specific that you'd like me to show you in the future videos. I will definitely be making more videos with unboxings or reviews of Harry Potter stuff, as you guys can expect. I'll be making some more videos with music related stuff, but I'd like to hear from you guys and see what you're interested in hearing and interested in viewing. So please don't hesitate to comment. Let me know what you want to see. Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.